So you probably saw in that other video from the oil change that I have some definite engine damage. I'm pretty sure it's from the valve train. So basically what I'm going to have to do is remove the coil packs and the valve covers, and hopefully I'll find where the needle bearings came from. And if that is the case, and it does happen to be rock and roll, I do have another set from that engine right there. I pulled that 6-liter truck engine out of an '02 Suburban from the junkyard a couple years ago. So I have an entire truck LS engine. I also have the 5.3 in the gray pearl. If I need to rob any parts, you can see some heads up there and intake and all kinds of other stuff. I have the whole engine. So I'm hoping I can steal parts off of there to get my car back running so I can actually drive and be able to like go places like the grocery store. Alright, so this is not going to be a step-by-step video, but I just want to go over a brief overview of what I'm going to do. So these are the coils here. This whole pack comes off. This whole metal thing comes off. Underneath there is the valve cover, and I'm going to take that off next. So just go ahead and unplug this, and all the spark plug wires that come off here. These are 4 of them on each side. And then go ahead and take all those bolts out. I got all the bolts loose, and by the way, quick note, these battery operated ratchets are amazing, and if you don't have one, I suggest that you buy one, or at least borrow one for this, because it's going to make your life way easier. I have the Milwaukee M12 version. I really like it. I know there's like some generic versions that work the same. Just go ahead and get one. If you don't have one, you can't afford it, whatever, ratchet or wrenches will work fine. It's just those things make your life so much faster and easier, and definitely worth it. So together we're going to go ahead and look at this thing. So here's the valve cover. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out, and we'll discover what we find in here. Let me see if I can turn the video around. Okay, so here we go. That's loose. That's not good. That's actually, I think that's the damaged one right there. Very first one. That is not supposed to be like that. And if you look at this side, you can actually tell. Let me get the light here. You can see this thing coming off here. That is not supposed to be like this at all. Yeah, that's definitely messed up, that one. So let me go ahead and check the other ones. Some of them are they're a little, some of them are loose. I'm going to check the torque on them. This one's definitely messed up. Definitely. You can see visual damage there. That one definitely going to have to be replaced. I'm very lucky that one's very accessible. I'm going to have to go ahead and check the other side too. Alright guys, so I've taken this off. It's just a little 8mm. These things are only torqued to 20 foot-pounds, so it's pretty easy to take off with a ratchet. There's a lot of play here. The inner erase actually fell out. Needle bearings are totally gone. This is a one off of a 6-liter. I pulled out of a junkyard. Obviously a lot more tight, and all the needle bearings are intact. This is a broken one. So as we can see here, I checked all the bearings, checked the push rod to make sure it wasn't beat up. Everything looks good. The valve does look a little bit mushroomed there, but I think it'll be okay with a new rocker arm. I'm going to go ahead and retorque all these other ones. And I went ahead and took off the other side. The driver's side here. And all of these ones look okay. Go ahead and I'm going to torque all these too, but they all look okay. So looks like it probably has to do with oil starvation. This thing burns a ton of oil, and I'm not always the best on keeping up on it. So sometimes it's down 2 quarts before the light comes on. So it's only running on 3 quarts, and a 6,500 RPM pull. Doesn't like it too much. Looks like some other parts here that I need to take out. I'm going to run through here with a magnet to make sure I get all the parts before I reassemble it, because I don't want any of this stuff going into my oil pump and destroying the rest of the engines. So basically what you do is I have this torque wrench here, and you can see all the foot-pounds on this side. So we wanted 22 foot-pounds. Got a socket right there on the rocker arm. Basically what you do is you pull this until it gets to 22, which is somewhere around there, and then it's tight. So basically I checked all the nuts on this side, or bolts, and on the other side to make sure that they were at least 22 foot-pounds. So another thing I've been doing is taking a magnet, and everywhere around here I just kind of been sticking it into the engine and just kind of like letting it go around, and then pulling it out and checking it. And oh, that one doesn't have anything, but I've been sticking it into holes like that hole right there. There's a bolt there, and I have actually gotten a couple needle bearings out of there. So alright guys, so for you guys that don't know what exactly is going on in there, I have a little demonstration for you. This is a head from a 6-liter LS from a Suburban. So it's basically the same thing. So this part is going to go down. So on the engine block there, as you can see over there, those are the pistons. So this side would go on the pistons. So the small ones, these are valves, and they pop out. So the small one is the exhaust, the big one is the intake. This is where the intake manifold will bolt up. So if you look in there, it's really, you can't see, but so this lines up with this for the intake side. The exhaust manifold or header will line up here, and this port lines up with this valve. So when this valve comes out, the air goes out and it comes out of this hole. So how these valves work, these are the stems of the valves that you just saw, and there are these springs. These springs keep the valves closed. And these are the intake again. So these springs keep the valves closed, and then the rocker arm, which as you can see here, this is the broken one that I just removed. So see these holes here. This would go like this, screwed in here. Just gonna screw it in a couple threads, but anyway. So basically what happens is you have a push rod that goes through these holes here. I think it's this one or these. Anyway, they come out. This is going to be tight up against here, and it comes out of a hole on this side. So this is going to be locked in like this. The rod comes up, it pushes this side right here up, and since normally it can't slide up and down like this because this bolt will be tight, it pushes this valve that way. And what happens is when that valve gets pushed that one that way, this valve here would get pushed down or open, and then that will, when the piston is coming up, this exhaust valve would open and the gas from the cylinder would be evacuated out of the header or the exhaust manifold, and then this intake valve will open, and here's the spark plug here. The spark plug will light, and everything will be happy. So you can see the spark plug, the 2 valves. This is what's called a 2-valve head or 2-valve engine. You'll hear 3-valve, 4-valve, 5-valve engines. That just has to do with how many valves are in the actual cylinder. So like I said, this is a 2-valve push rod engine because it uses the push rods, which are, you can see, well, it's really hard to see now, but you can see those rods there on the back side. Those are the push rods. They push the valves, the rocker arms on the back side, and then they push the valves open. So I hope this is a really good visual representation for you guys that have not taken an engine apart yourself. And then again, those push rods are driven by the camshaft, which the camshaft drives the lifters ride on the camshaft, and then the camshaft drives the, camshaft drives the lifters, which the lifters drive those push rods. Oil also goes up those push rods to lubricate the rocker arms. So that's why there's a hole there, right there, and oil will actually come out of that hole and lubricate the entire assembly and the spring. So hope that helps you guys out in understanding this mess. Alright guys, so I got everything back together. I got the valve covers back on. Got the coil packets back on and the plug wires. Make sure you connect the PCV valve to the passenger side head and the two big connectors for the coils. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, guys. If you've ever messed with the Camaro before, the passenger side back plugs are a bitch. You're gonna get cut up. They're just shitty. It doesn't matter how you do it. The number 8 spark plug wire is just a pain in the ass to get on. This plug is a pain in the ass to get to. If you've made it this far, it'd be awesome if you guys could like the video and subscribe to my channel, because it would really help me out and you know, make me make more videos like this. So thanks for that, and thanks for watching. And tomorrow, hopefully when it's not 2 a.m., I'll be able to start it up. And welcome to tomorrow. Let's get it started. So I'm just going to click this, just the first notch, just in case I get it outside, because I don't want to run it inside of the garage. So it's very long at all. Get all those fumes in my house. So, moment of truth. Well, I don't hear that ticking noise anymore. So that's really good. A little noise, a little bit of noise. You see a little smoke there. Put spilled the oil on the header a little bit. There's a little bit of a noise. It's really hard to tell what it is. Obviously nowhere near what it was before. So thanks for watching. It's always lucky that I had a junkyard, my own personal junkyard in my garage, and it works. So thanks for watching. The very last thing is I want to check the oil level again. Like I said in that oil changing video, always good to run the car. Sorry, just wiping it off. And then check it at the very end. So I said it was going to be a little bit low because it was in the crosshatch pattern. Let's see where we're at. And as you can see, just under the crosshatch pattern, so we're about a quart low. So I'm going to go ahead and add another quart, and I'll be good.